What's going on, guys? I'm going to show you the easiest and most simple Forex strategy that exists. Now, it's a really simple Forex strategy and it only takes two simple concepts to understand. And I'm going to show you those two simple concepts now. Let's get right into the whiteboard. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. Okay, guys, so concept number one. Okay, so this is concept number one, and it's a very simple concept. So when you have a downtrend or an uptrend, meaning this being a uptrend or this being a downtrend, whenever you have a break of one of these downtrends or uptrend, price typically comes back to the breaking point. So right here, as you can see, we have, this is where price broke out of the trend. Typically, wherever you have that break, price likes to come back and touch into that line. Now I'm going to show you on the chart. Let's hop in right in the charts and I'm going to show you. And it works the exact same thing for the opposite as well. So whenever you have price in a uptrend, as we see here, whenever you have price break that uptrend line, price typically comes back and touches into that. And I'm going to show you right on the charts right now. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're here on the charts and now I'm going to show you just a couple simple examples. So if we just go ahead and start marking out trends here. There. This is one big trend here. We start marking where the breakouts are of these trends. You can see price loves some back area here. It's a very general kind of area, but as you can see, in the general area where price tends to break out of, as we see in this area here, price loves to come back and tap area. And as you can see here, it's kind of the general breakout area here. Price came up, tapped into that. Same thing here. This was the kind of general breakout area here. You can see price comes down, taps into it, comes down and taps into it once again. Same thing up here. This is the kind of breakout area we see on this trend here. And then as you can see, price taps into this line multiple times. So as we can see, it happens. You can go and test this on every time frame. It happens on the 1 minute, the 5 minute. Let's just jump to the 1 minute and show you some examples as well. Okay, now we're here on the 1 minute, same pair. Just to show you that it works on a lot of time frames. Same exact thing. You can mark out these trends. The break is there. As you can see, it comes back in, taps right back in and moves up. And we mark out this one up here. Price breaks out around this general area. Price comes up, taps back in. Same thing here. Kind of mark out this area. Breakout happened around there. As you can see, price comes, taps into it. And this just repeats. This is a repeating pattern. It just happens over and over again. Comes back in, taps in there, same thing. So this happens on a lot of time frames. Now there's a way that we can actually get this to be very accurate, and there's a way that we can also take advantage of this pattern that plays out to actually use this as a strategy to make money. So I'm going to show you concept number two. We're going to jump here on the whiteboards. We're going to explain what concept number two is, and then we're going to get into how you can actually use this to trade, how you can get your trend lines to be more accurate and give you pinpoint entries into really good, simple trades. Okay, so now for concept number two, we're going to go over what we already learned in concept number one. Price makes these trend lines, and then we have the break for the trend lines, and we have price coming back to the trend line. So concept number two is how do we enter, how do we get in a trade on these lines to make sure that we're getting, first of all, pinpoint entries on these lines and taking profit way down. How do we get into that? Well, concept number two is going to be when we see, something like this happen on the higher time frame, and then we see, price making its way back to that break line. We're going to look closer on the smaller time frame. So if this entire time frame here is on the 1 hour, we're going to look at all the little mini moves that happen on the 1 minute here. So there's all these little mini moves that's happening on the 1 minute time frame that you can't see on the 1 hour. So when price comes back to tap into it, there's actually a little bit of price action that goes on here that will actually give us a pinpoint entry. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It's going to give us a big risk to reward ratio and a high win rate, especially with this pattern. So, when price is moving on the 1 hour like this, and then we have the breakout, and when price comes all the way back, we're going to enter. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to show you what exactly is going to happen. So what we're going to see on the smaller time frames, when we zoom into the smaller time frame, is we're going to see price making a uptrend on the 1 minute to the overall 1 hour line that we marked out here. So as we see price making the small time frame trend, we're going to wait for price to break one of these higher lows make a little pullback, and then we're going to enter, and that's going to connect to the bigger time frame, and that's how we're going to take price down. Literally as simple as that. I'm going to go and explain that now on the charts. Get right into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and explain how concept number 2 works, but first I'm going to be giving away free access to my Simple Forex course, the Simple Forex Premium course. If you guys are interested in getting free access to that, there's a special deal going on right now. So if you sign up with AAAFX and make a minimum $50 deposit, all you have to do is message me on Discord, in the Simple Forex Discord. You're gonna DM me and show me proof of your deposit. Then I'm gonna give you free access to the Simple Forex course. That's going to help you and show you videos, similar to these videos here, and give you some more insight on how to trade better. That way, if you sign up with the correct broker and you sign up with AAAFX, you're going to get an advantage over signing up with other brokers, because you'll not only be making money trading, but you're going to be with a solid broker, and you're going to have guidance along the way from my course. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and sign up with AAAFX, make a deposit, join the Simple Forex Discord, send me a DM showing proof of your deposit. Okay, let's get straight into how to apply concept number 2 and get these pinpoint entries. Okay, so we're here on the 1 hour on CHF-JPY. The first thing you obviously want to do is mark out trend. So, for here, for example, we had this and it came back and tapped into it multiple times. Cool. And then we had a new one here, this one, and here. We had price break there, and this is where price came down, came back up and tapped in. So how do we get a good entry on that? Well, obviously, if you've watched this far, a lot of you are thinking, okay, well, I'll just enter on the line, set my stop loss and my take profit, boom, there it is. Because not all the time does it actually tap into this, but how do we make sure that when it taps into this, we're actually getting a good entry? Well, it's important to drop to the lower time frames. So that's what we discussed, and that's what concept number 2 is. So you have price come down, comes back up and taps into this line. When we see that tap into the break line, this is when we're going to jump to the 1 minute to get that optimal entry. This is going to give us a better risk to reward, a better entry, and overall higher percentage winning trades. So now we jump to the 1 minute, and like I said, concept number 2, we want to see price, trending up towards that line, and then we're going to look for price to break a higher low. As we see here, we have price trending back up to that line. It is now tapped into that line, as you can see there. And all we're looking for is for price to break a higher low once we've tapped in. So our most recent higher low was here. As you can see, it lines up with the MACD. This is a low here, and on the MACD, we have a low there. Now, all we're doing is waiting for a break of that low, price to come back and touch into the break line. And that's what we have there. We have the break, that higher low, price comes down, goes back up and touches into it. And that's our entry trigger right there. We're going to put our stops above, our targets below. And as you can see, this gives us the best and the most optimal entry. And as you can see, off this trade alone, we get a 1-to-6 risk to reward ratio. Now this is great because it gives us a better risk to reward ratio. So for $100 stop loss, we're making $600 on this trade. And that scales with your account size. So let's say you're trading with a $100,000 account, $1,000 stop loss, $6,000 trade rate here. This is perfect because we have concept number 1, very simple, the break line. Concept number 2, we have price coming back up, tapping into the line, waiting for that break and entering right on that. This is perfect. I've been trading this way for a very long time now. It works, it's consistent, and it's really good for solid entries. This is one of the first strategies that I developed, and it is one of the most best ones out there. You guys are gonna love this. Now we're gonna go ahead and sum up what we've learned. Go back to the whiteboard and let's make sure we've got it all down. Okay, so going back to concept number 1. Concept number 1, very simple. We have a uptrend, right? Price breaks that uptrend. When we have a break of the uptrend, price tends to come back to the area of the break. Cool. So we have price come back and tap up into that area. Now, concept number 2 is how do we get the best entry? How do we enter off of what we know? We know that price likes to come back and tap into these areas. So how do we get the best entry in there? Well, it's very simple. So as price is coming back up to tap into that line, we're going to zoom in to these smaller time frames. So we're going to look at the 1 minute, for example. We're going to see that price is trending back up. As it taps into that line, we're now going to wait for price to break that higher low. We are going to enter, price comes back up and taps into that break line, set our targets below or stop above there. And then after that, it's just easy profit from there. We have price zooming down, boom, boom, boom. Easy money on that. So let's go into the charts. I'm going to show you some more examples. We're not just going to look at one example. We're going to show you a bunch. We're going to show you a bunch more examples so you can get a better understanding of it all together now. Okay, guys. So here we had a nice trend on the 1 hour. This is GBP CAD. We had a nice trend like that. We're going to mark out where price broke and see price came back and tapped into this 2 times. So this would be 2 opportunities here to make money now. So now concept number 2, jump to the lower time frames. We're going to get a better look in on here. And then as we see, like we learned in concept number 2, price is trending back up to the top here. Boom. We had a tap into our line. And this is when we're going to look for a higher low get broken. So we had a higher low here, and then we formed a new higher low here. Here was a new higher low. Price broke it. Now we're waiting for price to come back up and tap into the break line. Tapped in there, stops above, boom. Targets below, be a nice 1-to-1, or if we held on to it longer, we could get a 1, 2, 3, 4 out of that. So that's one simple trade there. We had another time that price came up and went to go tap into it as well. So then once again, price is coming all the way back up, trending back up, taps into it again. Now we're going to look for another entry. Same thing here. We're going to wait for a higher low to get broken. We have a higher low here. We have a higher low here. Gets broken here. As you can see, price comes out, breaks in, taps back into the line. Take our entry there, our stops above, our targets below. And as you can see, almost a 1 to 8 risk to reward. You know, let's say we even took our profit right here. Still a 1 to 5 risk to reward off of these nice, simple entries, perfect entries, good technical analysis. Guys, it doesn't get better than this. Look at these entries. Get a nice simple trade here, 1 to 3 risk to reward, a 1 to 5 risk to reward. You know, that could be a nice easy $800 day for trading. For how long was this? You know, for 3 days, that could be a nice easy $800 to let play out. You know, if you're using a $100 stop loss or whatnot, it'd be a $8,000 3 days. If you're using, you know, an FTMO account or some sort of funded account like that. They're super simple trades. You see it happen all the time. Now, I haven't shown a downtrend yet as an example, so I'm going to show you guys how it works in the reverse. Let's get right into that. Okay, guys, so we're here on odd JPY now. Once again, looking at the 1 hour. As you can see, we had a nice little downtrend here. Price broke out of the downtrend here, and then we had price tap into it multiple times. So once again, concept number 1, we have a trend line. We have a break of that trend line. We marked that trend line. Now we're waiting for price to come back and tap into it. Once again, it tapped into it. So we jump to the 1 minute, and we're going to look for price to break a lower high now. We want a lower high because the price is trending downwards. So now we had that nice price action trending down, taps into it. So now we're looking for price to break a lower high. So as you can see, our previous lower high was here. We had price come up and break above it. Now we just need price to come back and tap into this line. Put our stops below, targets above. And now we need to wait for price to come back and tap into it. And it taps into it right here. We get entered on the trade back here. Stop still below, targets above. Nice easy trade on that. As you can see here, we could go for another trade, but very important to remember, don't take the trade if price doesn't tap into this line. So as you can see, price never ended up tapping into this line yet, so we weren't able to take trade. Now you can be very strict with it, you can be loose with it, whatever you like, but price technically hasn't tapped into this line yet, so I would not take that trade. But if you went ahead and took the trade anyways, I'm sure you still would have made a nice little decent profit on that. I'm just trying to explain that I like to be very strict with it. So that's how I do things. But let's say you did take this trade. I mean, you probably wouldn't get the best risk to reward out of this trade, but you still would have been able to secure, you know, somewhere close to a 1 to 5, 1 to 1, whatever you'd like out of that. These are still trades you can easily get here. And then same thing, as you can see here, it never ended up tapping into the line, so I wouldn't have went for a trade here either, and it probably wouldn't have worked out in the long run because it ended up just trending downward after anyways. So yeah, these are nice simple trades to take. such a good strategy because it gives you a good entry area, gives you a good reliable spot to enter from concept number 2. Go ahead, back test this, apply it, and especially if you're trading right now, sign up with AAAFX, get that deposit, $50 minimum, and come see me on Discord, message me, and I'll give you free access to my course. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. But yeah, that course deal is only going to be for the month of December. It's a little holiday special for you guys. Enjoy.